Hi, it's Gail here. Today I'm going to show you how to create a moon, and I'll show you how to use the masking tool to kind of change it a couple of times, and it will kind of look like this drawing over here, although you can't see it very well. So I'm going to see if I can grab a hold of this and move it over a little bit. I do have a wolf and I do have some other things here. I just kind of moved it out of the way so you can kind of see this. We will also add a little bit more up here. So to do this, we're using Google Drawings. I have a Google page open and I already have a folder created. So I'm going to my Google Apps through Google Drive right here. And I have it called Clipart. If you haven't made a folder, you can go to New and just go down to Folder right here and then just follow the steps to create your own. Since I've already done that, I'm going down to More and I'm going to start in Google Drawings. And we're going to come up here to the top and call this Glowing Moon. Then I'm going to save it into I'm going to move it over to my folder, which is Clipart, and we're ready to get started. So I can show you what the background looks like just to have some fun with it, but I do want to keep this checkerboard pattern, and the reason why is this is already transparent. I'll be able to pick this up and use it in other pictures in the future, and I will also be able to alter the pictures to fit the mood of the picture. And I can change the colors, I can change the shapes, anything I want to do. So the first thing we're going to do is hold down the Shift key, go up to the Shape tool, and we're just going to pull out a circle. And if it's not perfectly circular, that's fine. And I'm going to make this larger so I can have a little bit more fun with the inside, and we can always make it smaller later. And this is pretty good. I'm also going to change the background color just so we have a chance to see what the colors look like against the nighttime sky. So I'm going to click on, actually I took 2 fingers to press down on the launch pad or the mouse. I'm going to background color and I'm staying on that background color till I get over here, and I'm going up to gradient to change the color, and I will change it to this color right here. We can always change it more later, but at least that gives me something to work with. And I like to use like the dark gray and blue because if I add a little orange to the moon, those are opposite colors and they stand out really well. So I'm clicking on the circle now to select it. You see the square around it. I'm going up to the fill color, I'm going over to gradient, and we are going to look at the circular one right here. It's the white radial gradient. I'm clicking on that, and then we're going back to custom. So I just click the fill color again, and we're going to add 2 stops in here. To do so, all I'm going to do is click add and add. I'm going to move these out a little bit, and we're going to change the colors of all the stops, even the squares on the ends. So this one over here, I want to make sure it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and it looks like it's that color already. I'll just click it. Yep, it's that color. I'm going to keep the white like it is. This one right here, I'm going to go 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And this one over here, I'm going to change to a light orange. So it looks like that. And if I want, I could play around with this and I can still get some really cool looks. So it's going to be up to you as to what kind of look you want. I like to have a little bit more orange in it, so I might move it a little bit over here like so. Again, you can play around with it. Yeah, that's pretty fun. And now we're going to use the polyline tool to start to create some of the craters in the moon. And I know that this looks a little bit, you might want to add more details and stuff. If you do so, one way that you could make this larger is actually go to File and go down to Page Setup, and we would change the size of this to Custom. I'm going to keep it at 10 and 7.5, but I could also come over to the side. I have the choice between pixels, points, centimeters, and inches. Again, if I want to go in more detail, I could do that. But the way I look at it is if I add too many dots, I might not be able to use it later on. And if I were going to create something for a larger picture, I would definitely make it larger and come back in and just rework this area again. So I'm going to the line tool right here, and I'm clicking on the toggle, the upside down triangle next to it, and I'm coming down to polyline. And we're just going to start to create a little shape over here. And, you know, I have to kind of keep it I have to keep them a little separate, otherwise it will think that I'm finishing a line, and that's not what I'm doing. And if that happens, we'll just start again. And I didn't mean to have that point, so I'm going to keep creating some more shapes, and then I'll come back and change that later while I'm in this tool. Maybe I'll create another one up here. And you can see that that kind of filled in there. And maybe what I'll do is move that one over to the edge later. So I'll keep that one. And I'm just going to start another one over here. So you can see what I was talking about a little earlier. And the way to get around that is to make your screen a lot larger. The thing is that you have to keep it within ratios. And since this is 7.5 by 10, I would have to look up the ratios, use a calculator and stuff to figure out how I want that to look. I'm not that good in my head when it comes to math. So just trying to create some shapes here. And you could also look at a moon picture if you want, and that would help too. And if you wanted to do that, just to let you know, you can click on this little insert image right here and go to search the web, and you can search something over here. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to keep it kind of simple. And now that I clicked over here, if I need to get out of this, I'm just going to click on the arrow right here to get rid of that, and it allows me to move things around. So I can actually select this one, kind of move it over to the edge now. Maybe I want to move it over like so. Then I'm going to click on this line and make sure that this kind of matches up here. So I could do that. Then I'm going to click off of it so it's selected like that. And I'm going back to my polyline tool, and I will start again. And that one filled in a little bit. I'm not going to worry about it. I'm going to get rid of those lines anyway. So I'll keep that one too. And I think I'll create another one down here. Maybe later on we'll take a moon or something and make it look like Cheshire the cat. Cheshire the cat, yeah. That looks cool. And maybe I'll have another one up here. Or maybe some that are a little bit more thinner. Looks like they're kind of going around the side here. And maybe another one over here. Another thing you can do if you're not quite happy with these shapes is if I click the select tool or the escape key, of course I can get out of this. And if I want to, I could actually rotate this a little bit. I also have the choice to make it a little bit thinner. So if I want it to look like it's going around the side a little bit more, I could do that. And maybe even rotate a little bit more. I think I kind of liked it like it was before. So I'm going to click undo to take it back a step. And that looks pretty good. And maybe I will even take one of these, and I'm going to hit Command plus D or Control plus D to duplicate it. And maybe I'll bring that one down here, and I can take one of the shapes I already have and kind of rearrange it a little bit without doing all the extra work, like so. And that one looks pretty good. I might move that one up here. And I think I'm going to keep it like this. So if you want to create the man in the moon or something like that, you can always come back and change the craters and stuff and have some fun with that. So the next part is to get rid of all these lines. So I'm going to hold down the Shift key, and I'm going to select all of these. And I'm going to get rid of this line right here, or I could change it to a lighter color. That's kind of fun too, so I'll choose this light gray right here. And then I'm going to select each one of these, and I'm going into gradient, and maybe I'll play around with this color right here. And it looks like I'm going to need to get rid of that white, so I'm going to custom, and I'm going to change this white over here to maybe the third one and see how that looks. Yep, and you can have some fun like that. Maybe it looks like there's a little glow over there. So I'm going to click on this one and do the same. And, you know, I might want, I'm just going to show you one other thing you can do too. Oops, I did not mean to do that. Let me go back to the fill color here, and we will go to gradient. Maybe I'll select this one to kind of get started. But maybe I want to switch the colors there, so, or the angle. So when I come into here, I can go to custom, and I can also play around with the angles right here and just see what I come up with. And that gives it a little bit of a different look too. And maybe I think I want to change this one a little bit so it looks like it's blending in with the background, so you can kind of see which way you want to go with this. Maybe I'll keep it like that. Yeah, that looks good. So I'm just going to select two of these now and see if I can add a little bit of a gradient there. Going to custom again, getting rid of that white. Maybe I bring that one down too now. So you can kind of play around with how dark you want them to be. Maybe I want to fade back later, but right now I'm just going to keep it like this. And I'm just going to select all these because I think you can kind of see where I'm headed with this. And let's say I go to custom, and I didn't mean to do that again. So I meant to go to, oh, it's on blue, that's why. So I'm going to come over to gradient, and I'm going to choose this one right here. And I kind of like that, but maybe I choose this one down here and change the angle. So let's see if I can go with darker at the top. So just doing that one little thing can change it up a little bit. So anyway, that's kind of how we can do the moon. I have one more thing to show you. This is kind of fun. I'm going to click on the moon right here, and actually this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to hold down the Command or Control key and then press A to select everything together, and then we're going to group it, and then we're going to click on Format Options, and we're going to add a glow around it by going to Drop Shadow. And I'm coming over here to the right where this black is. I'm going to change the color to a white, and I'm going to play around with the distance right here, and then I'm also going to blur it out. And there's a little line down there, so I don't want that to happen too much. Let's see if that works. Okay, it's smeared out a little bit. So once I've done that, I can click off of this, and if I want to add more light around here, all I have to do is select this, and then we're going to duplicate it by hitting Command plus D. We're going to line that one up on top just like we had it. I need to get rid of that black line there anyway, so I'm going to make that transparent. And I'm going to change the angle of that and see if I can get it up higher, and we'll get the angle to go all the way around the moon. So that's pretty good. And then I'm going to do that one more time. I'm going to select it, and I'm going to duplicate it, Command plus D or Control plus D, lining it up again. And I'm going with the angle to see if I can get over on the other side a little bit right there. And I'm clicking off of it. And while this is a little bit light up here, I might want to play around with that. You know, I can go back and soften that up a little bit, but at least you kind of get the gist of this. This is really soft, so maybe I want a little bit less. The great news is I can always come back and change it. Or what I could do is just kind of blur it out a little bit more. So maybe I'll do that. So I'm just going to move this one out of the way and Just kind of soften the edge there a little bit and see if that's enough for this one. And that's already better. I'd still want to soften down here and up here. But anyway, that's it for this video, and I hope it works for you. Best wishes. Great job on your clip art. The other thing we can do, I will show in another video. Until then, have an awesome day. Bye-bye.